Hello everybody, it's me, it's PokemonTripHD. Welcome back to some more Dragalia content. In today's video, we're going to be going over the next summon showcase, Monster Hunter Primal Crisis Part 1. So there's going to be a Part 2 banner for this showcase. It's been kind of confirmed already, and it literally says Part 1 right there. That means Part 2 is going to be coming eventually. I believe, was it February 3rd? They said the summon showcase being up there. I think it was around there. But the summon showcase will be updated around there. I'm assuming they're going to make a brand new summon showcase. It's not going to be this exact showcase which is updated. They're going to make like a second summon showcase which you can summon on, kind of like what they did for summer. So that's going to be what they're going to be doing for the second summon showcase. But here we go. Let's talk about Part 1 first. So in Part 1, we're getting 2 adventures and 1 dragon. The first adventure is Hunter Berserker. The second adventure is Hunter Vanessa. And the third, actually not the third adventure, the dragon, the only dragon, is Fatalis. And okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Windows. All right, anyways, Fatalis. So Fatalis was actually shown in the preview sort of trailer-ish thing. But everyone thought he was going to be the boss, but he's actually not the boss. You can actually summon for him. Yeah, I'll talk about Fatalis a little bit later on. I want to actually, oh my god, what's happening? I want to actually talk about the 2 adventures first. Plus, I want to mention that there might be a 4-star adventure on this banner. We might be getting a Hunter Cerise on this banner as a 4-star, or they might give us Hunter Cerise as the free raid unit or something. We are getting Rathalos for free already, so we might be getting Hunter Cerise as a free raid unit. We don't really know yet. We're gonna have to wait for that. Once the actual event is out, which is actually tonight at recess. That's gonna be hype. I might actually stream it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But yeah. We might be getting Hunter Cerise for free, or they might put it on the banner, but I can't really talk about it since, like I said, we have no information on it. Because again, the new Summon Showcase YouTube videos that they upload are really trash, and I really don't like it, to be completely honest. I really like the old formatting of the Summon Showcase videos where they actually show all the units, show their moves, what they do, etc. This one, they just kind of show the unit, and they're like, summon for this one. Nah, what about this one? What about this dragon? They look so cool, summon for them, and it's just like, can you show me what they do, please? Like, I don't want to just see them. Like, if I wanted to see them, I would just watch the trailer that you literally already posted. So that trailer literally has more information than this does, besides, obviously showing Fatalis that you can actually summon them. But anyways, this is limited time units, adventures and dragons. Now, they have to say plural dragons, but I'm pretty sure it's just Fatalis. But adventures is plural because, again, there's obviously multiple adventures. This showcase will last until February 16th, so you have a little over 2 weeks to actually summon on this banner. Now, I do want to mention that we get free summons. We have 10 free tenfolds on this banner. We might get more free summons for Part 2, but at the moment, we just know Part 1 is getting free tenfolds. So you might want to wait till you summon all your free tenfolds and then actually go in with your Remain summon. I'm personally not, because I want to get these adventures like right away. Actually, I might. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a little bit of summoning, and then if I don't pull one of them, I'll wait a little bit. But yeah, you might want to wait till the end of this. You might want to wait until Part 2 is announced, and then pick your poison on which banner you want to summon on. Maybe you're low on Wormite, etc. You might want to wait for Part 2 to be announced. Again, like I said, February 3rd. It's 3rd or 6th or something like that. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but it's one of those 2 dates. If anyone can let me know in the comments down below, please do. And you just check the comments and you can see when it is. Anyways, let's actually start discussing these adventures. Now, I do want to say, obviously, this is limited time adventures. Whether I think you should summon or not is obviously going to be a yes. Any limited time adventures or dragons, I think you should summon for, because again, they're limited. Plus, this is a collab event, which means we don't know when or if these adventures or dragons will ever return. So just that alone, I do think you should summon. I just want to get that out the way, because people are going to be like, it's clickbait. Obviously, you should summon because it's a collab. Like, yeah, you should summon because it's a collab event. I'm going to summon. I am going to summon. I don't care how bad these adventures are. I'm going to summon because it's a collab event and I want these adventures. So again, if you feel the same way, go ahead and summon. It doesn't really matter if these adventures are good or not. But anyways, let's look at Hunter Berserker. With this armor, I am ready for the hunt and for glory. That's what he says. His strength is pretty high. It's not the highest in the game, but it's pretty high. He's an attacking unit. Berserker the Hunter, clad in armor, rot. I don't know, what does rot mean? I don't know. Rot from the legendary Rathalos, having deemed the beast a worthy adversary, he set out to take it down, that he might truly know what it is to feel alive. I'm messing this all up. The hunt promises to be his ultimate satisfaction. I've already read that before, actually. They showed that in the actual Hunter Monster Hunter website with the collab. So yeah, anyways, Hunter Berserker. First of all, I want to say again, his design is amazing. We've already known about his design for a while, but his design is still amazing. I really like his design. And again, he's supposed to play like the sword or the great sword from Monster Hunter. So let's see if his kit reflects that. Now, I want to say I've already obviously taken a look at his kit, but his first skill, Moonbreaker, deals flame damage enemies directly ahead and reduces their defense by 5%. this defense reduction effect will not stack. Now, this actually is very weird because it says it reduces their defense by 5%, but it doesn't say for how long. So I don't know if the translation team messed up or if they just forgot to include it or something. They still have not updated it. So I am led to believe that this defense reduction effect is a permanent 5% defense reduction effect, which is really interesting if that is the case. Again, I don't know if this is the case, but if that is the case, that is very interesting because you just need to really use that skill off, as soon as you can. And then for the rest of the fight, that enemy will have a 5% defense reduction. Now, it says the defense reduction will not stack, so it can only be 5%. Now, I'm curious to see if it's going to stack with other defense reductions, like, say, Golemim's defense reduction, Yuden's defense reduction. There's other units that do it. Is this defense reduction effect going to stack with other units' defense reduction effect, or does it just not stack at all? It's only 5% until a higher defense reduction effect is put out active, and then that defense reduction gets replaced with that one. I'm curious to see if it's going to be like that. I'm also curious, like I said, if it's going to be permanent. If it is permanent, it's going to be very interesting, and it might actually be the very first permanent defense reduction effect we've ever had, so that's going to be interesting. His skill 2, Lion's Maw, increases the damage of the user's next Force Strike by 80%. This damage increase will not stack. Again, it's kind of like Yachio's skill 2, increases your Force Strike damage. Overall, nothing amazing, but his kit actually relies on Force Strikes a lot. Now, his code ability's just plain Dragon Haste, which is kind of disappointing, but his kit focuses on Force Striking a lot. Great Sword Expertise +2. Now, this is Great Sword. Like I said, for Monster Hunter, their sword weapon is called the Great Sword, I believe. Grants the user a unique Force Strike. Now, if you did watch the trailer video for Monster Hunter collab, you would have seen his Force Strike and the way it charges. Increases Force Strike damage by 30%. So it's basically like a mini Force Strike damage Wurmprint on his ability, which is great. The Force Strike has 3 increasingly powerful charge levels and deals 20% increased damage to enemies in break state. In addition, they are immune to knockback. Oh, that was a big burp. Immune to knockback while charging their Force Strike. So this is a very actually good ability. 3 increasingly powerful charge levels means it's going to take you a little bit longer to charge your Force Strike, but it will be worth it because, again, you're going to get a lot stronger of a Force Strike damage. Again, if you use your skill 2, you definitely want to charge up the highest level of your Force Strike. Plus, you deal more damage to enemies in break state, which means if you can't get off any skills, you're definitely going to want to Force Strike because that's pretty much like a skill at this point. Like, your Force Strikes are pretty much skills if they deal an extra 30% damage and more damage to enemies in break and increasingly powerful charge levels, etc. They're pretty much skills at this point. Like, that, it's an insane Force Strike ability. Ability, actually. I really wish he had a code ability that also increased Force Strike. That would make him honestly borderline broken, I feel like, if he had a code ability that increased Force Strike damage, because again, swords already want to spam Force Strikes. However, he has a great sword, which means I don't know how much he's going to want to spam Force Strikes. Again, we've never had this type of ability where your Force Strike is literally changed from every other character from the same weapon type. His Force Strike is going to be a completely unique Force Strike. We need to see how you can incorporate that into his normal chains, how strong they're going to be, how long it's going to take to charge. Is it really going to be worth it to charge it up to the final level? We have to test with Berserker and see how his Force Strikes will be incorporated into his kits. Just from speculation, I think his Force Strike will be used a lot, and it's probably going to be his main source of DPS after you use his skill 1 time, because again, that defense reduction looks to be permanent. Plus, again, you might want to get your skill 2 up whenever possible, because again, let's increase your damage from your Force Strike a lot. I'm also interested to see how much SP you're going to gain from using this Force Strike at a 3rd charge level. That's going to be really interesting. But again, sleep res, which makes him different from Yuden in the sense that Yuden has stun res, but Naveed also has sleep res, which is again another great flame sword. There's plenty of great flame swords out there. Yuden and Naveed, just 2 of the best ones right now. There's a lot of flame swords. The flame sword is such a saturated pool that honestly, just from having Yuden, you can skip Hunter Berserker. Like, you don't need Hunter Berserker at all. Unless he completely, like, blows out the 70 mana circle units. Like, he's just way better than them, which I highly doubt. I don't think he's going to be better than Naveed or Yuden, to be completely honest with you. I don't think he's going to be worth summoning, besides the fact that he's a Hunter Berserker, which, collab unit. That's also reduced defense, Devastate. I didn't even talk about that yet. Increases crit rate by 20% against enemies with reduced defense. Because again, if you crit on your Force Strike, it's going to deal ridiculous damage. His best Wurmprint setup is probably going to be either Mega Friends Mega Friends, Elegant Escort if you're running with somebody who can burn, or the Shining Overlord Stellar Show, because then crit damage helps with this crit rate. So that I would honestly say Shining Overlord and Stellar Show is probably going to be his best combination. But again, Mega Friends and Elegant Escort is going to be another great one. There's probably a couple other ones, but those are probably the two best Wimper combinations I would recommend for him. But again, I don't think he's going to be better than Naveed, to be completely honest. That's his straight competition because, again, they're both sleep res. I think Naveed will be better because, again, Naveed is very, very strong. He's very, very good. It remains to be seen how his 4 strikes are really going to work. But he's definitely going to be decent at the very least. You're probably going to have to control him because I don't know how the AI is going to do with all these 4 strikes and skills, etc. I don't know how the AI is going to do. Is he always going to charge the final skill level or charge level on his 4 strike? Like, I'm not really sure. We're going to have to see once Hunter Berserker is actually out, especially what his mods are on his, his 4 strike and on his skill 1. If he has good mods, and low SP cost, doesn't take too long to charge the 4 strike, etc. He's going to be very, very strong. It's also going to be remain to see again how you're going to incorporate that 4 strike into his normal chains. Are you supposed to do a 5-chain 4 strike, 4-chain 4 strike, 3-chain 4 strike? We don't really know yet. We have no idea. Again, Hunter Berserker, he's going to be good. I'm definitely summoning for him because, again, he's a collab unit. But do I think he's going to be the best collab, flame sword? But not best collab flame sword, but best flame sword in general? Honestly, I don't know. I don't think so because, again, 70 node Naveed is so strong. 70 node Yuden is so strong. I don't think Hunter Berserker will be able to top them. But, I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I could be wrong, but Hunter Berserker now just seems to be like a collab unit that you want to get just for collab reasons, for collection purposes. That's my thoughts on Hunter Berserker. Next up, Hunter Vanessa. Get your tail in gear, there's hunting to do. Now again, this is Vanessa, yes, the Flame Axe Girl, Vanessa. She doesn't have red hair because that's a part of her armor. I do just want to mention that again. That's a part of her armor. She's an attack unit with 507 strength, more strength than Hunter Berserker, which is pretty funny. More might than him as well. Vanessa the Hunter, clad in a set of Kirin gear, she and her adorable feline companion venture through streams, woodlands, and volcanoes in search of prey. And as a bonus, she's picked up some fine new land skills from Ella-san. I ship it. I ship it. Ellie, Vanessa, I ship it. Anyways, she's a light lance. There's already a couple light lances out there, most notably Annalie and Halloween Ellie. Now, where does she go in comparison to those two? Well, let's actually just go over her kit. Also, I want to see her art. Oh my god. I love her art. I'm 100% getting Hunter Vanessa before this banner is done. Like, I will summon Hunter Vanessa before this banner is done. I have like 80,000 Wormite. I'm doing it. I'm 100% doing it. She looks beautiful. It's amazing. And again, I do want to say that this dragon back there or the monster, whatever, that's the monster you have to kill for this armor, I'm pretty sure, which is actually really cool that they have, like Berserker had Rathalos behind him, and she has, I believe, Kirin or something, I don't know, whatever that thing is back there behind her. And then this little feline, so cute also. It's like a mini her, pretty much, or she was like a big version of that, I guess, big version of the feline. Anyways, let's discuss her kit. First up is Corkscrew Jab. Deals light damage to enemies directly ahead and inflicts paralysis. Now, this is already unique from both of the other light lances, Annalie and Halloween Ellie, in the fact that she inflicts paralysis, which neither of them can do. However, inflicting paralysis for Hyzon, which is where she's going to be used, kind of meh. You kind of just want Mitsuhide or Flora to inflict paralysis so they can get, maximum uptime with their para Punisher, which Hunter Vanessa does not have. Spoiler, she doesn't have that. So, kind of meh on this inflict paralysis, but again, it could be useful. Something like MG if you're not using one of those two or something. I don't know, but I personally am not a huge fan of this inflict paralysis, but again, it does make her unique from the other light lances. Next up, Enraged Guard is a very unique skill. We've never seen anything like this, and this is going to be something that I don't think the AI will be able to use. I think you're going to have to use this, and it's going to be very, very strong. Now, activates Enraged Guard for 3 seconds. You have a 3-second window to take advantage of this skill. Upon using this skill, the user will also be granted immunity to knockback for 3 seconds and take 70% less damage from the first hit they take in those 3 seconds. If the user takes damage during a range guard, their strength will be increased by 30% for 90 seconds. At this point, Enraged Guard will be removed. None of these effects will stack, and the skill will not provide a damage immunity window. So you don't have an iframe there. This skill, as soon as you touch that skill, it activates. So basically, if you get hit during those 3-second window, you take pretty much no damage, you don't get knocked back, and for the next minute and a half, you get 30% extra strength, which it's pretty ridiculous. Like, this is a very strong skill. However, I'm just going to say right now, she doesn't have skill prep plus 100%, so you're not going to be able to use that at the very beginning of Hyzon. You're probably going to have to charge this up. Also, I'm interested to see how long the charge is going to be, but you're probably going to have to charge this up before, I would say, the Chaser in Hyzon. If you can charge it by then, then I would say this is going to be a great skill. Because again, Hyzod's already like anyways like a 3-minute fight, maybe even shorter than that. So you're going to basically get a 30% strength increase for that entire fight. She has potential to have like really good DPS just because of this skill too. But again, you only have a 3-second window, which means the AI probably cannot use this. You can also use it for MG. I should mention for those purple claps, you know when they're going to hit, and you'll basically have a 30% strength increase for that entire MG fight after you get hit. Personally, I think this is a good skill. It's just going to take some actual player skill to use this, because again, you need to know when the attacks are going to go, when they're going to hit. Probably the purple attacks are going to be the best time to actually get hit by that. And yeah, personally, I think this is a good skill, but again, remains to be seen how good she's actually going to be. You know, if her skill 1 has good mods, low SP cost, she's going to be very good. Because again, this 30% strength increase is good if this skill can actually be popped off plenty of times. If not, it's going to be iffy. It's really going to be iffy if not. Anyway, she has just a normal Lance co-ability, which is pretty plain. Again, pretty disappointing. We don't have any unique co-abilities. But Lance Expertise +2 grants the user a unique 4-strike and increases 4-strike damage by 30%. Their 4-strike has 2 charge levels. After the first level is charged, damage taken from enemy attacks will be reduced, and the user will initiate a counter attack when damaged by certain enemy attacks. Once their 4-strike is fully charged, you know, the second level, it will reduce enemy defense by 5% for 15 seconds. This debuff will not stack. So I'm assuming the debuff will not stack with itself, but it will stack with other defense debuffs. I'm assuming, I really hope that's what it is. But again, it says for 15 seconds, which Hunter Berserker's effect did not have. So like I said, that leads me to believe Hunter Berserker's defense reduction is permanent. Again, this is just like Hunter Berserker's 4-strike. This is going to be a very good ability just for the fact that it increases 4-strike damage, but it also has different charge levels, and you can lower your the enemy's defense, which is again very, very strong. So I think that alone is going to make Hunter Vanessa very, very unique. She also provides Curse Rise, which is great for Hyzod, and reduced defense Devastator, increase crit rate by 20% against enemies with reduced defense, which is again very, very good for her, since she can do this just with her 4-strike, which is again, her 4-strike is going to be so easy to use. It takes not like a second to charge her 4-strike up to the second level, and again, you get knockback immunity, which is oh wait, no, damage takes from attacks will be reduced. Oh, you don't get knockback immunity actually. Okay, never mind. You don't get knockback immunity. So you just got to charge it well, I guess. You got to time it well and charge it well. You don't get knockback immunity, but you do initiate counterattack, which I'm interested to see what that will be when you initiate a counterattack. You know, interested to see what that will be. But anyways, I think she's actually going to be very good. You can actually initiate that counterattack with this skill too, potentially. That'll be an interesting combination. I do think Hunter Vanessa is going to be very good. She has a lot of potential with this 30% strength increase, with this defense reduction, with, you know, crit rate Devastator, I guess, is okay. Again, if her skill 1 is good, she's going to be very good. Because, again, she has a lot of potential to be better than the other 2 light, I was going to say axes, the light lances we have right now, being Annalie and Halloween Ellie. She has a lot of potential to be a better DPS than them. Plus, I do want to mention, you could actually run Hunter Vanessa and Melora on your team, and that could replace the 2 Galudins. I believe, you know, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you could do that and replace the 2 Galudins. So that could potentially be a new strat. Again, they're just allowing more adventures to be in Hyzod, which I do appreciate that, you know. I do like how there's a lot more choices for adventures now in Hyzod than there used to be. It used to just straight up be Galudin, Yacho, Floor, nobody else. But now we have units like Mitsuhide, Melora, Galaluka, lots of units now that can actually be used. Even Chitose and Summer Clay, etc. There's a lot more units now that could be used. So I'm happy to see Hunter Vanessa potentially be used in there. Again, I'm summoning for her. I think she has a lot of potential. Again, if you're summoning strictly on usage and not character design or anything like that, I would say wait to see once they're actually released, the mods are out, etc. People play with them and see how good they actually are. That's what I would say would be the best choice on your summoning. But again, I do think you should summon anyway since the collab. Last up, let's talk about Fatalis, the Shadow Dragon. So a new Shadow Dragon. We already have a great Shadow Dragon with, you know, Shinobi, a couple good ones with Marshiton, and actually, is that it? I feel like there's another one, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. So Martian and Shinobi, let's just compare it against those two. Actually, are those the only 2 Foreshadow? I think those actually might be the only 2 Foreshadow. But anyways, Fatalis is a collab dragon. Fatalis is conflict made flesh. Fatalis is death inescapable. That sounds terrifying. The black dragon of legend from another world. Its name has been whispered in fearsome tone since antiquity, for it is said to have raised entire kingdoms in but a night. Such stories were thought more fairy tale than truth, and yet he's here. So Fatalis looks terrifying. He's probably going to be the boss for this event as well, which is, again, very scary. We're going to have to fight him. You can also summon him, though, which is pretty cool. He could be on your team, or you can fight him, or both at the same time. Who really knows? But anyways, Fatalis, let's take a look at him. Dust Explosion deals shadow damage to enemies in a line, which is pretty plain, but maybe it's going to have ridiculous mods, because look at his abilities. Strength and ending Shapeshift equals Curse 2. Increases strength by 50%, period. Not even for shadow, just straight up increases strength by 50%. When they use a shapeshift is undone, they will be cursed for the rest of the quest, irrespective of their elements. So basically, don't shapeshift. That's pretty much what it is. You don't shapeshift, because if you shapeshift, as soon as your shapeshift is done, you're cursed and your adventure is useless. Unless you're going to shapeshift at like the very end of the fight, you don't shapeshift. That's pretty much what it is. And maybe his dragon form is going to have absolutely ridiculous mods, where maybe Dust Explosion is going to be like a 4,000% damaging skill or something. Like, we have no idea. I don't see any reason for you to shapeshift. You cannot shapeshift tank when using Fatalis, it looks like, because you'll be cursed if you do. So just don't dragon, but that strength increase is for any adventure of any element, which is pretty cool. And then he also has the ability Shadow Strength plus 30%. So you definitely want to use him on Shadow Adventures because of that. It's basically a 80% strength increase. Now, I'm not sure if this stacks additively or multiplicatively. Now, I'm assuming it's additively, actually, because it's like increases strength and then increases strength, but it could be multiplicatively. If it is multiplicatively, I can't even say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. If it is, let's see, 1.5 times 1.3 would be 1.95, which is actually pretty strong. So if it's multiplicative, that makes him even better. But again, is he going to be better than Shinobi? Honestly, I don't think he's going to be better than Shinobi, because Shinobi is just so strong. Again, she's just so strong. But he could be. If it's multiplicative, actually, he could be stronger than Shinobi. So if he's stronger than Shinobi, that would be ridiculous, because, again, Shinobi is probably one of the best dragons in the game right now. But you do have to remember that Shinobi does energize your team if you shapeshift and you don't get cursed, so you can actually dragon tank, which is a big plus for High Jupiter runs, because, again, you do need to, if you're doing the Gladio strat, you do need to dragon tank a couple things. So that could be something that Shinobi has over him. But again, for Delphi and MG, you know, he's definitely going to want to run this. Maybe even Durant could have run this as well. There's a couple adventures which could take advantage of him, you know, those two notably. But he's going to be a nice substitution for Shinobi. Maybe you don't have Shinobi or something. Maybe you're a newer player, you know, he's going to be a nice substitution for it. But you just can't shapeshift. That's the main thing. Do not shapeshift, because if you shapeshift, your adventure is useless for like the rest of the quest. But again, if it's towards the end of the fight, it really doesn't matter. Again, I do think you should summon for at least one copy of him, because he has a lot of potential to be better than Shinobi. Summon for one copy. You can always mob him with Sunstones later on in the future if he is better than Shinobi. And yeah, that's pretty much my analysis on this banner. Again, there's a lot of potential for this showcase. We're gonna have to see once everybody's actually released, and see how good they are, though. But I do think Hunter, Vanessa, and Fatalis have the most potential. Hunter Berserker, I feel like, is going to be a little bit lacking, but Hunter, Vanessa, and Fatalis have a lot of potential. Again, if there's any 4-stars on the banner, I don't really know yet, because, again, we have no idea, because the banner's not out, and they didn't show us anything, so we'll have to wait and see for that front. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this on the comments down below. I feel like this is a very long video. I feel like I was talking for a very long time, but again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you going to summon? I'm obviously going to summon it to collab. I think you should, too, simply for the fact that it's a collab. We don't know if these adventures will ever return. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and until next time, have a nice trip.